Welcome to Coffee Time Monday. I hope you guys are ready. I got my iPad full of notes of talking points that we're gonna go over today. So grab your coffee and your intention, your mindset, and let's do this. I got my coffee right here. I'm always iced coffee girly just because I'm in Arizona and it is still hot here, although we're kind of gloomy this morning. First thing we're gonna do is set the tone. Those moments when life feels too full, too heavy, or just too much. I don't know if you're feeling this, but I'm feeling this right now. I have a lot of projects and oftentimes I am trying to attempt at simplifying all my tasks, my goals, and just like shaving it down, but you just want to get all the things done. The problem with that is then you're so cluttered in your mind. You know, when you start not getting things done, get into this mode of it's okay, I'm gonna push this one to tomorrow, this one to the weekend, and you keep pushing things out. Something happens here where you start feeling like, what am I doing all this for? We're gonna try to combat that this week, try to simplify and make it into small steps that we're gonna take throughout this week. What if the answer is not to do more, but to do less with intention? Putting that intentionality in there. Guys, I chose a theme for us. Q4's theme is gratitude and visions. I thought would be really amazing to end the year strong with some gratitude and a vision for the following year and the years to come. I wrote down some quotes that just came to mind. I thought I'd share them with you, so don't mind me. Gratitude doesn't erase the overwhelm. It grounds you rather in what's already working. The second quote, vision gives your steps direction. Gratitude gives your steps peace. So just keeping that gratitude and also the vision moving forward is, I think it's so crucial. We talk about gratitude journaling, something that we're grateful for every day, and that is such a good practice to have. For me, whenever something negative seeps through, what I would do is to just sit down and quickly journal about that. Confront the situation, but then turn that around into something grateful, something that I'm grateful for. Maybe it's a lesson to be learned, or maybe it is something that I'm doing less of and I need to do more of. I want to turn that into a gratitude moment and then moving it forward, having that visionary mindset instead of being stuck on something so negative that is not really going to help my life. So that is kind of the idea behind that theme of the quarter. So the first segment of Coffee Time Monday is Real Talk Moment. We were traveling so much. I was on the road every week from Thursday to Sunday travel for the last several weeks. And I think one of the reasons why I felt so overwhelmed coming back for a full week is not only my youngest daughter started back up her school, she was on fall break, but then I had another kid currently this week on fall break, and then I had all this catch-up work to do. It just felt very overwhelming because of my schedule, first of all, and then to the amount of work that's been kind of held off. Now, I did take my iPad around, like I said, in all my travels, and I was able to get things done. It's different from when you're traveling versus when you're sitting at your work desk and getting things done. So obviously there were things that were just left behind for me to handle when I get back, and it just felt a lot. So what I did was, instead of trying to fix it all at once, I asked myself a question. What's that one thing I can do right now to move me forward? And I think this is my initial phase of starting off the week strong. What I did this week was I started with the small tasks. So I started tackling all my small tasks out of the way instead of dealing with the big ones. Once I did that, it made my list a lot smaller. And I think that's the moment where I felt like, okay, I can handle this. I can do probably one or two things that are big, these deep tasks. When I say small, it's like quick tasks, takes a couple minutes. It's maybe an email, a quick phone call. And when I talk about big tasks, it has many different steps to getting that one thing done, that kind of thing. So then I freed myself from this long list of items that I needed to handle, and I started tackling one big task at a time. And before I knew it, I was locked in the zone. It just really, really helped, to much of my surprise, because I usually start off with my deep tasks and then I start tackling the small ones as I can. But this week I did it a little bit differently. If you're used to picking top 3 items, on the days or the weeks that you feel overwhelmed, try the other way around, starting with a quick small task, getting things checked off, and then see how you feel about tackling that first big one. On another week, I chose my top 3 move the needle tasks, things that are going to move me closer to my goals being checked off for the 12-week year that I do. And I really zoned in, laser focused on getting those large move the needle tasks first. The rest of the week became a breeze. It was just tiny little phone call, email, quick tasks that I needed to get done. I will say though, we cannot ignore the quick tasks because sometimes it's that one email that you procrastinate for whatever reason. When you get into that fearful procrastinating, you don't know why, you keep putting this one task to the next day, next week, next month. I get those all the time. At that point, you need to stop and confront that situation, because when you keep putting it off, obviously it's going to be here and you're gonna be cluttered with that thought. And a lot of the times for me personally, I lose sleep over those, okay? And they're not even that big. I'm over here handling business, accounting, marketing, like I'm over here doing all the big things. Yet there's this one email that I put off for 3 weeks. In fact, I just finished this one email this morning before filming that I've been putting off for 2.5 weeks. Granted, I was traveling and all that, but did I really not have the time to tackle that one email, that reply? No. I mean, literally, it was an email that required me to answer 4 quick questions and a document that I already have. It's not like I have to go request a document from someone else. I had it in my Notion. It was interesting, but what I did with that was I confronted it. I literally wrote it down in my notebook. I call it my journal, but it is a planner. I just took out a blank page and I asked myself questions. You have to get this one thing done. And I explained the task. What is it about that task that is keeping you away from just checking that one off? Then I just kind of freely wrote things down. I'm assuming that no one's gonna really look into my notebook, my planner. So I am very free to make it messy, make it mine, and jot down anything and everything in here. Then in my flow of just writing things down, and what came out of that was, to my surprise once again, there was an attachment. There was an emotional attachment to that particular project and task. It had to do something with finances. And for me, for whatever reason, whether it comes from my childhood or my adulthood or my young adulthood, that thing just kept being on hold just because it had to do with money. Now, is it something that I needed to do, anything that I cannot do? No, it wasn't any of that. It just had an emotion attached to it that I did not overcome. What I then did was I simply got the answer on paper and I literally opened up my Notion and just got to work and got it done in less than, I swear to you, 5 minutes. Got that checked off. Felt really good. It felt like, okay, I could sleep tonight and I feel like I could do anything. Feel free to change things up. This next segment I thought would be really fun to have like a coffee break question, you guys, in the middle of the show. So this is where I give you a prompt and you grab your journal, something like I have, and just freely write. Ready for the prompt? Here's the prompt. What's one small step you can take today that would help you feel more at peace or more in control? What is that one thing? What is that one small step? So pause this video and write that down. Here are some examples for that one small step. It could be replying to that one email, in my case, doing a 10-minute tidy, scheduling your own quiet time, or writing down your top 3 priorities. Yesterday, my daughter, my youngest one, we took her on a college tour. When we got back from the trip, her school started back because she was on fall break and she felt overwhelmed. Now, she is a pretty good student. I never have to tell her what to do, but she was having a hard time focusing, the willingness. And so it was difficult. I mean, like even last night, she had all these things to do and she had no motivation and all this stuff. And it simply has to do a lot with routine. Now, her routine was broken because we went on a trip. 4 days out of the 7 days of her normal routine. And on top of that, she was on break for 2 weeks before that. When she came back, she felt overwhelmed. So I gave her a notebook, one of my many notebooks, and a nice pen. And I said, Okay, so you're gonna just write down all the things, just brain dump on paper, just dump it on paper, all the things that are on your mind, things to do, big or small, it doesn't matter, just write it all down, make a list. And once you're done with that, I want you to highlight the top 3. Whether you want to do those 3, top 3 important, or easiest things to get done, or that takes like short amount of time, whatever the case. And so she did that. She made a list and then she highlighted 3. And I said, okay, for whatever reason, you chose those 3. So now get to those 3. Get it done and be done for the night. She did exactly that. And she came back to me feeling a lot better. She felt really happy. And she said, I feel very accomplished. So I decided to get one more thing done before I go to sleep. And I said, okay, that works. It's a matter of going into a flow. So for her, it was just that tiny little step moving back into momentum. This next segment is very fun. This is where I give you a challenge for the week, 5-day challenge. Since we're on the topic, we're gonna give 5 challenges on the topic of taking that one small step. On day 1, you're gonna declutter one physical space, whether that be your kitchen, that one drawer that's kind of annoying the heck out of you. I have that one drawer. Or maybe it's your work desk. In my case, I'm going to go through this work desk as part of this practice. Or it could be that counter space. Day 2, write down one thing you're grateful for, staying with the topic. Get one big, deep work that moves the needle, one thing done, and one small, quick task done. Day 3, do one task that you've been avoiding. It could be small, big, that thing that you've been putting off. Get that one thing done. Day 4, take 10 minutes for quiet time. Just for yourself. You could journal, you could just sit and do nothing, do a breathing exercise, whatever the case. 10 minutes to yourself. No distractions, just breathe. Get one big task and one small task done. Day 5, reflect. How did those small steps add up? And get 3 small tasks done. So you're just gonna sit and journal, or you could type it in, you could just think it through. How did those small steps each of the days add up? How did it go? How do you feel right now? Congratulations. Once you've done that, you just completed 9 big and small tasks. Not to mention, you gave yourself some time to breathe a little bit, and possibly you might have gone into a flow and celebrated. That's it for today's Coffee Time Monday. I know this is kind of odd. Like, I am not used to talking head videos, you guys. And I thought to myself, maybe I should do like a full makeup, all that. But I thought, okay, if I get into that, I'm just not gonna do these on a regular basis. I'm already filming around my kids' schedule. So when the home is empty, which it never is, today is a lucky day. So I got to film today, but I thought, okay, that's just never gonna happen. So I decided, you know what? We're gonna go makeup-free, casual, my home attire, and so be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. It was kind of nerve-wracking for me because I'm not used to this, but at the same time, this is so much fun. And I hope that you took one thing home today. I am hyped to hit the week running. So if you guys enjoy this show, make sure to subscribe, like, and so more people can watch and join our community. And also on Friday, a little teaser, Friday's topic is going to be amazing. We're going to talk about my 3-step hybrid weekly reset routine. Look out for that video. But for now, I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.